Hey everybody, it's Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be moving into July for my Project Life album. I am just loving this format of 6x8. It's just the best. So I'm kicking off July with a family photo. That's kind of my go-to, is either family photos or a preview of whatever is going to happen during the month. So I took a firework photo and I blew it up really big, 7 by 8.25. Then I have a family photo on top of a piece of vellum. So it almost looks like there's a really cool fireworks frame behind us. Then I have a strip, a really thick strip that I printed from the digital Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kit. I believe it's part of a piece of vellum that is in the physical kit. I'm not sure. The July, I think I just typed that out with a font that I had on my computer Photoshop. And then I printed it or cut it out on Cameo. So it's just really simple, but I love the effect of the vellum with the photo. I just love the whole thing. Love how it came together. I tried to make a 7 work because I have used a large number for May and June, but it didn't work for July, and that's fine. At least I have the month, and that'll be fine. I could always go back and add like a really small 7, but I don't think it's necessary. So July is going to go right above kind of our family selfie, and then I'm going to look in my word phrase stickers and see if there's any that I like that will work right there. I just need to trim off the piece of the striped pattern paper. I mean, it's faux pattern paper, but I feel like once you print something out, you can say it's faux or faux pretend, or you can say it's the real deal, because I mean, you printed it and now you have it physically. So I trimmed that off and added a little word phrase sticker right below July. I think I picked keep it cool or something like that, just so that way I could have a little pop of blue right up at the top. So that page is done. I am going to adhere it to the back of week 27, because I did week 27 first because I lost the family photo, so I had to reprint it. And guess where the actual first photo wound up? It wound up in my July Stories by the Month box, where it should have been, but I did not look there. Okay, moving on to week 27. There was a ton of photos during this week, and I was having a hard time pulling stories. So I looked through my supplies and things that I've been meaning to use, and I found this currently page with lots of different prompts. I had it in my digital stash. I'm pretty sure I did. And I was able to come up with a size that would work really nicely to put photos right below the prompts. Then I took that same rounded shape and put it over on the left-hand side to make another grid of photos. I then took that rounded square and I enlarged it so that way I could have a main photo of my kids goofing around in Target because we were taking a break from the heat by escaping to Target and just wandering the aisles. Last July was incredibly hot with so many heat waves. Like, we would get heat wave and then a couple days break and then another heat wave. And so in the bottom left box, it says currently struggling. And I put a screenshot of our weather, and every single day is nearly 111. And it was just bonkers. So definitely what we were struggling with. I have 3 photos on the far left, so it makes a column of photos, but before I adhered those down, I wanted to do the photo of me working out, and then I grabbed the other photos so that way it could help me align the workout photo, because I was going to have a blank spot in the middle. I almost wish that I would have printed out like a colored block so that way I could make sure it was even, but I think overall it looks pretty even, and there's a decent space in between the 2 photos. So I was looking in my stash for title pieces because I felt like it needed a title piece. I was looking for embellishments. I thought it would need that. It was just really confusing me because this paper on the right-hand side has a lot of colors in it, which works great with my photos because my photos have a lot of color in them as well. But I couldn't really find anything that I liked except for some green word phrase stickers and also some puffy stickers. So I'm going to use both of those and then move on to the easier part. Well, it was supposed to be easy. I was stamping week 27, but when I stamped the W, I actually stamped a U. So I went back and stamped it again with a U, and I made my own W. So my little oops wound up working out just fine. But I made sure to include the week because you guys know I always forget that. So stamped week 27, and then I'm going to grab that green word phrase sticker that Allie Edwards has. I wish she would do these in every single color and every different hue of the color because I just need them in every color. So up at the top, I put "These are my people" because yes, those are my people. Hula hooping in the aisle and my son dancing behind her. It was a good time. I mean, and it got us out of the heat for a couple hours, so that's what matters. And back to being able to find something to decorate the spread with, I had the stickers and I had the puffy stickers, but I wanted something a little bit more. So of course I turned to my stamps, and I'm going to grab a few more stamps to stamp a title up above the prompt boxes. I also added "Enjoy" to the movie ticket and "So Good" to my daughter and her friend. The stamp set that I grabbed, I have no idea where it's from. I think it's from Day in the Life, but I could be wrong, or Week in the Life. But I picked our story and just stamped it right across, and I love how that turned out fantastic. And then I'll make a little cluster of puffy stickers. And these ones are like multicolored puffy stickers, starburst, I want to almost say, like that kind of color or shape. I am going to be so sad when I run out of them. I have 2 of them, and I'm going to be sad when I run out. So you can see here I'm putting them on, and then I have 3 boxes that I need to fill in with information. The boxes that were left were currently reading, currently wishing, and currently cooking. I had no photos that matched that, but I thought if I went to my Hobonichi, I could find something in my journal entries that would work. So I grabbed my Hobonichi and I am going to start writing the reading. And sometimes I write down what my daughter writes or reads, and I wasn't seeing that in here. And I wasn't seeing anything about cooking because sometimes I write down our menu, but probably during this week we didn't do much cooking because it was so hot. And wishing, the only thing we were wishing for is the heat to stop. So then I'm twirling my pen. I'm like, this is not working. This is not working. I need to pivot. So I decide to pivot. I put my Hobonichi, I set it aside for a second, and I go to my Allie Edwards supplies and I grab some stamp sets. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a label sticker over the top of each of those ING prompts that are not working. I don't know where these stickers came from. Honestly, I wish Allie Edwards had more of these in her shop because I will be sad again when I run out. But I had the perfect colors that coordinate well with this spread. I had a light blue, a red, and a green. So what I did is I covered up, like I said, the ING prompts, and I covered up the book that I had written. Then I looked in my stamps and I pulled out 3 tiny stamps that could be different fonts or would be different fonts, and they would be different prompts to write in the various boxes. And I am absolutely so happy that I decided to pivot because I love how this came together. And again, it just shows you how versatile stamps can be. I just love it. So I picked out a stamp that said "Nope, enjoying my people and in this season." And I'm going to do the 3 boxes, like I said, and then I can just jot down some stories based on my Hobonichi. And I love it. It looks so good. And then the other prompts that I have are currently loving, currently watching, currently listening, currently finding, struggling, and working. And with working, I put a literal photo of my son holding up his first paycheck. So, I mean, because I know sometimes you can do an abstract type of working, but I did not. I was very proud of my son for working last summer. So in the nope, I put the nonstop heat. It's just out of control. Nope to bored kids. I got one to build Legos and the other one to research card tricks. And the last one I put is the gross dishwasher. I used my fancy new scrubbing device to clean my dishwasher. I mean, the things that we get excited about as adults is just the best. A new scrubber. Enjoying my people. I talked about how my son and husband and mother-in-law went to a soccer game, and you can see their selfie over there. My mother-in-law absolutely loves the Sacramento Republic goalie, and she got a photo with him. So she was just so happy, like it was Christmas. And then my daughter got to have a few play dates with her BFF, and we saw Despicable Me 4 as a family. And then I talked about wandering the aisles in Target. And then in this season, I put all the treats in summer because, again, I'm trying to relate back to the various photos, but I don't have to. I can just include details that aren't in the photos, but for this page, I am choosing mostly to kind of talk about the photos. And then I said continuing workouts and trying new activities like going to the car wash because that's something that we tried to kind of beat the heat, I guess, because we could get wet at the car wash, but the kids liked it, and so there you go. And then the last one I added to the no was about the dishwasher with my new fancy scrubber. So that is going to wrap up this page. And again, I think it looks fantastic. I'm so glad that I didn't force myself to use the prompt ING boxes that just did not work for me. Okay, so I have a little bit of a start to July. I have this opening page with a family photo, and then I decided to put it on vellum, and then you can kind of see the fireworks behind it. So that was really fun to do. And then of course the firework photo, no idea what actual size it came out or if this page behind it is big, who knows, but it looks like it still fits in the album, so that's fine by me. So I've got week 27 and I was able to figure out a way to use this paper. Then I will probably back this page together. Let me do that right now. So do you remember I think this was for the stash class where you would come up with products that you really wanted to use right away, or products that you had been having sitting around and you would make an effort to use it. So that's where this project came from, is the stash class. And I think what I wanted to use was the hearts and maybe it was the transparencies. So I did a page about 4th of July through the years. So the next page will be all about 4th of July. And so what I thought would be fun is to show you that I have printed out everything for July and I'm ready to go to finish up July. And let me grab the photos that I have printed. Okay, so I have 4th of July, and what I'd like to try for 4th of July, I shrunk these photos down, so I don't know, because I forgot that I was going to use this. It might still work. Yeah, it looks like it will work, but I wanted to use another one of these to give continuity between the previous project and this 4th of July. And I decided that I wanted to try out this page protector for some extra photos. So that is 4th of July. And then I have some more here. I'm going to do another weekly spread with these photos. This will be a weekly spread because I know I've talked about it before, but I do try, when I'm putting together my monthly pages, I do try to look for stories, but sometimes if I can't find stories, I will just go to a weekly spread instead of spending extra time overthinking it, or just, I don't know. I don't want to spend extra time, so if it's not coming together quickly, then I will just move on to weekly spreads. So that's a weekly spread. Then we went to Legoland, and I wanted to include that in my album since I already did a nature page in June of our trip to the Redwoods. Yeah, the Redwoods. And so I'm going to include a Legoland, and I have a 2x2 page protector that's going to go in the middle, a 3x4 with some photos. And of course, I had to include the family photos, but I have two from 2 different days because we were there 2 days. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do some sort of flip up. So I'll have one of the photos, probably this one, flip it up, and then you see this one. something like that. I haven't really thought about it yet, but I have both of those. Then I wanted to do a small story about going to a concert with my husband and finishing out the month with photos of all of us. So that will cover July. I don't even know how many pages that is. That's like four or five more or something like that. But I have July all planned and I'm already starting on August. So I'm making some good progress. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing July get started. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.